It really broke my heart. I couldn't even work that day.
July 17th is a day Sarah Martinez won't soon forget.
Her head was right here.
It's the day she noticed her neighbor's dog was stuck in a wire fence. It was the second time on the same day.
Luckily, I happened to look outside and I saw her head stuck in there again.
Earlier that day, her lawn crew used pliers to cut the wire and free the dog.
It's really thick.
This time Sarah was on her own, helpless.
I wish that someone was around that could help me, and nobody was around.
It bothered me so much.
The dog's owner, Roland Trevino, was at a doctor's appointment, unaware his neighbor was struggling to help his dog in distress.
She was struggling. She was trying to get out. She was trying to get her head back out, and she couldn't.
Thinking on her feet, Sarah called Animal Care Services, hoping they'd send help.
They said it was going to be maybe another hour or two by the time they get to her, and I said, well, she doesn't have an hour. I need someone like now.
Her plan B was a long shot, but the clock was ticking. The unusually large dachshund was starting to show signs of fatigue. Sarah called the San Antonio Fire Department, and in short order, a 2-member crew showed up to help. But Sarah says they weren't moving fast enough.
They were just looking at her, and I'm just thinking like, oh my God, like do something.
She says it took a while longer before they came up with a plan of action.
They squeezed her head to get her to the other side.
It was uncomfortable to watch.
Yes. And at that moment, that's when they're like, ma'am, I'm sorry, but you might, I don't know if she'll survive.
Sarah did everything she could to keep the dog comfortable, giving her water and moving her into the shade. But within minutes, she watched as the dog died from apparent heat exhaustion.
Devastating. I don't even have a pet, but that was very devastating.
I feel sad because I miss her.
When we met with Roland, he was rotating through 3 stages of grief. Anger over how firefighters handle things.
What they did was squeeze her head and pushed it out. When they did that, they broke her neck.
Depression from losing a loved one, and acceptance, trying to cope.
With all my heart. And I still feel for her.
Both Sarah and Roland can't help but question why firefighters did not use wire cutters.
I don't know what all they had in their truck, but I'm sure that there could have been some kind of pliers or something small, because all they had was the axe.
If they couldn't do anything, they should have called in, hey, we need some pliers or something.
They turned to the problem solver to get answers. First, we asked about ACS's response time. It was explained in a statement. Crews are dispatched based on the critical nature of the call and staff capacity. In this case, the city responded within an hour with support from SAFD, and the dog was removed from the fence. Still, Roland repeats his point of view.
They should have some kind of equipment, a box, if they're going to come and help, to cut the wire.
Next, we turn to SAFD. We asked, given the nature of the call, should they have been better prepared or perhaps taken a different approach? Spokesman Joe Arrington said in a statement tools were in the truck but were not needed. Crews determined cutting the fence could have physically hurt the dog. All right, here's a dose of reality. Most fire departments across the country no longer rescue dogs and cats. Instead, reserve resources to be ready to respond to human emergencies. What do you say to them for at least trying to help?
Well, I appreciate it, but I didn't appreciate what they did to my dog.
SAFD went on to say crews gave the dog the best chance of survival by freeing it from the fence. They documented the pet was showing signs of heat-related stress from being left outside for a long period of time. We checked. The temperature July 17th was 97 degrees with a feels-like temp of 111. As for Roland, ACS says they're always willing to help with adoption of a new companion. The agency hosts adoption 7 days a week. I'm Fox SA's investigative problem solver, Darian Trotter.
Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe for all of your latest headlines from Fox SA.